and gentlemen, and welcome everybody. Welcome to the famous Paul Ricard circuit here just outside of Marseille on this wonderful Thursday evening. How's everybody feeling? Everybody in a good mood? All right, just checking. Great to have you with us. Seems like we have the right crowd here with us. My name is Chris Brow. I will be your host and guide throughout this special evening, and let me tell you, we have a fantastic program set up here for you. Now, tonight, we're not just starting another chapter in the Genesis story. We are actually igniting a new era, one driven by pure energy and bold emotion. And speaking of energy, I hope everybody was able to catch the fantastic GMR hypercar here taking off just a couple of moments ago. Now, that was actually Genesis Magma Racing's very own Mathis Jobert behind the wheel, one of the rising young talents shaping the future of our team, and he just drove the GMR off in style and with great precision. And next year, he will be one of 6 drivers as Genesis Magma Racing will make its debut at the 2026 World Endurance Championship. Now, for a decade, Genesis has redefined modern luxury through timeless design, through athletic elegance, and also human-centered innovation. And now the brand is entering its next 10 years, and is taking its vision and philosophy to the next level and to a new dimension. A world where luxury meets high performance. And this is exactly what Genesis Magma stands for. But now, let's make it official. And let's welcome the key figure guiding Genesis into this next era of growth and innovation. Please welcome, with a big round of applause, the President and CEO of Hyundai Motor Company and Genesis. Here is Jose Munoz.
Everybody, how are you feeling? A little cold? I told you. Well, it's a real honor for me to be here with you in Le Castellet. Thank you, Luke, Donckerwolke, and then Manfred and the rest of the team for organizing these nice events. Very unique. In how many places have you been talking about cars with a helicopter, with planes all over the place, and in a real hangar? This is the spirit of innovation of Genesis. But let me start the meeting by offering you some interesting information about the company globally. And this is an extract of what I presented back in September this year in the first ever CEO Investor Day that took place outside of Korea, and with the first ever non-Korean CEO. So I'm sure you will see some interesting stuff. So let me get into it. So first, I want to tell you that even though this year has been very tough because of the tariffs and the end of IRA in the United States, the company is still doing quite well, definitely compared to others. So we had an all-time record first 6 months of the year, and we maintained this all-time record in sales and especially in revenue with more than 8%. Profits have been dented by tariffs, but much less than our competitors. So we lost about 30% compared to last year. But others, as you know, they've been having big losses and having 70% and more profit loss. So very strong. And why is that? Well, fundamentally, we have a global advantage as a group. The Hyundai Motor Group has a global scale. We have a diverse product portfolio, localized operations across the globe, and also we have what we call the power of the group. And this is why we have become, already several years in a row, the #3 global OEM. And in fact, when you consider profits, we are #2. So we just overtook Volkswagen very recently. So one of the key success factors of the group is what we call inside the power of the group. The group is comprised of more than 50 different entities that work all aligned to deliver on the best that we can for the customers. So for example, we are the company that controls Boston Dynamics, the #1 robotic company in the world that has also Boston Dynamics AI. When a lot of people are talking about the future of AI, we created this company already a few years back. We have created our electric vertical takeoff and landing company, Supernal. We also have our own advertising agency, like InOcean. We do our own software, 42 Dot. We have autonomous driving with Motional, so on and so forth. So this is really very powerful. And then as a result of that, there is no surprise by saying that we are #5 in 26 markets globally, and #3 in 12 markets. We have more than 20,000 engineers. We keep hiring people, while others are right-sizing. We have more than 5,400 dealers, and we have factories in 17 markets. The latest announcement that we've done, you may have followed in the press, is an announcement of $26 billion commitment of investment in the United States in several areas of the business for the next 4 years, through to 2030. When the company have invested, after around 40 years that we've been in that market, 20.5. So 20.5 billion, which is a lot, in 40 years versus 26 billion in the next 4 years. It's a big commitment. We're going to get into a clean steel, into more capacity, logistics, operations, and some high tech like AI, like robotics, etc. But even closer to that announcement, as soon as last week, we announced 125 trillion Korean won investment in our home base in Korea to develop all these state-of-the-art technologies which are going to benefit the country and the group as a whole. This is equivalent to roughly $86 billion in the next 5 years or so. In our growth plan, we are considering all regions to grow, right? And then we will have regions like China that has to grow about 300,000 units, regions like India that are going to grow about 250,000. Europe is going to be very, very close to that. United States, 230,000, and so on. But definitely for the Genesis brand, Europe is going to be one of the largest growth in percentage. So, but today we are here not only to introduce new technology and a new positioning of the brand, etc., as you know, but we are also celebrating our 10th anniversary. So we are a very young brand. Only after 8 years, we already sold 1 million luxury brands and positioned in terms of pricing at the level of the German 3. But also, we have done it with really a fantastic portfolio, which has been recognized across the globe. So G70, G80, G90, GV60, GV70, GV80. And then this has been really remarkable when we said, hey, you know, everybody's talking about Tesla. Some others are talking about Lexus and other companies. And then we said to ourselves, so how long did it take them to reach the around about 1 million? And then when you see the orange line, which is Genesis, and you see everybody else, we have been the best and fastest performing luxury brand ever. So this is credit to our executive chair, Mr. Chung, to his vision, and to the power of our group and all its employees. It is something remarkable. So once you have achieved that, what is next? So next, we need to continue to grow with very clear strategy, very simple. We want to enter into new profitable segments. We want to introduce new advanced technologies, and also we want to enter into new growth markets. Very simple, but very powerful. Now, I'm not going to start talking here about product because we have the best product specialists in the world. So, but I will just highlight that we want to be strong in SUVs, in emotional halo products, in very specific, we call one-on-one or bespoke programs, and more importantly, and we'll talk about it a lot tonight, the high performance. So Genesis Magma High Performance is going to be one of the key success factors of the next 10 years and beyond. And then Luke will talk to us about all that tonight. And then there is no performance if there is no real competition. So we want to ensure that the best of our technology gets into the competition level and that the best engineering of the competition gets back into our corporation, and we can make that connection. You will see that we are going to make it a reality. Coming back into growth, we want to grow our business about 350,000 units on a yearly basis. This represents 55% growth, when the group entirely is going to grow about 35%. So you can see, in a nutshell, where the growth is going to come from. North America will continue to be the main or one of the main pillars together with Korea. But then we have a very bold plan for Europe. Europe is going to have a new strategy, new product, new technology, new distribution, and then this is going to bring us some key presence in this market, which we all like and respect and want to make it a reality. So I would like to give you a sense of how we are transforming the distribution and how we are executing the so-called SONNIM, or honor guest concept, in our facilities, right? And then we have introduced several very exclusive luxury experience facilities, like this one, Genesis Studio in Zurich. Then this is the example of Geneva in Switzerland. Or, for example, the Genesis House in New York, where you all are invited to go, read books, have a cup of tea, or experience luxury Korean restaurants. So these are, for example, this is a dealer in New Jersey, in Cherry Hill. And then Peter Lanzavecchia is the dealer principal, is really very, very happy with the investment that he's made and the success. Every month he's having a new record. So you can see another example of the Genesis Jeonju in South Korea. And then I would like to experience a little bit of this video in New Jersey. By the end of this year, we will have about 100 facilities like this. We want to have a maximum of about 150 dealers in the United States like this. So when we started this journey, we had 840. Now we have about 100, and the sales have been multiplied by more than 8 times. So how have we done this? We are applying every day the spirit of the chairman and founder, Jujun Chang, who has been able to get the company from 7 to 5 to 4 to 3 under the leadership the last 5 years of our executive chair, Mr. Chong. So, but obviously the present, it doesn't matter. The most important is what is going to happen in the future. And in the future, we're going to continue to grow by investing in manufacturing, by investing in the latest and greatest technologies in robotics, in AI, autonomous driving, etc., in the high product, which is bringing good profits to the company with high performance, and then bringing, for example, software-defined vehicles, etc., best facilities and best technology. And when we put all these together in numbers, it's really mind-blowing. So I think I've given you a sense of what the group, and Genesis in particular, is planning to do, but the best is yet to come. So because the most important and interesting part of the day is coming with the next presentation.
So, Jose, what a fantastic start. Thank you very much for these insights.
Thank you.
Thank you also for your presentation. Let's give him a big round of applause. Jose Munoz here with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Absolutely.
And now, it is time to welcome a man who basically imagined this transformation and who brought Magma from concept to reality. So please welcome, with a big round of applause, Genesis Chief Creative Officer. Here is Luc Donckerwolke. Welcome, Luc. Great to have you.
Good evening, everyone. I had a dream. And I was lucky enough not to wake up. Instead, I was able to carry that dream forward, long enough to share it with all of you. We worked relentlessly and fearlessly to bring this dream to life. We took no prisoners. And somewhere along the way, a personal dream became a shared vision. A vision to create something truly unique. Why unique? Because Magma is the union of two powerful forces, performance and luxury. At Genesis, we have always believed that technology plays a critical role, not overpowering design, but elevating it, to create that rare blend of performance, refinement, and luxury that only Genesis can offer. We have a unique recipe, and we chose to express it in a way that no one else does. People often say we are a tech-driven group, and they're right. But tonight, I want to say it differently. We have created a new expression of performance engineering, using the full strength of our group's technology. and shaping it through the Genesis lens. A lens that blends tech, emotion, and design into something unmistakably Genesis. Magma. Magma was born from our desire to explore a more emotional facet for Genesis. A perspective of ourselves that dares to thrill while staying true to our elegance. It started as an experiment. Is there room for a more evil Genesis? One that shows its passion without losing its composure. As you can see, we are very serious about performance and very serious about the brand. We don't want to be short on adrenaline. The Magma logo carries a deep meaning. It's more than a performance emblem. It's a symbol of Genesis energy, emotion in motion. Its form takes inspiration from Hangul, the Korean alphabet. Those three characters are the consonants M, G, M, which forms the sound magma. This symbol unites every expression of magma from road to race under a single visual identity that speaks to both our origins and our future.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what we've just seen, that symbol, represents far more than design. It's the language of Magma. And for the next part of the show, which is going to be very dynamic, it's very important that you stay seated, all right? Keep your legs tucked closely to you, especially to everybody sitting in the first row. And before we show you how this vision comes to life, we do want to take a look and take a moment to reflect on the journey that brought us here. So, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, what do you say? First of all, you like the cars? Get some energy, let's get some emotion going here. There we go. Just feels so much better. All right, so what do we have here? Taking a look at this beauty. We have the GV80 Coupe concept, which is a car which was revealed at the New York Auto Show in 2023, the first one to come in this fantastic color, Magma Orange. Basically a teaser for the GV80 Coupe, but it also tested interest. We were curious to see if people were interested in a more emotional and also daring Genesis model. And the answer was yes, we want more. So the message here is clear, a bold step toward performance-oriented and a more emotional Genesis model. What we have here is the G70 Track Taxi Nordschleife. Just to get a feel, who of you have been to the Nürburgring, the Green Hell, Grüne Hölle? There we go. All right, a couple of you. So you know you can have a good time there, that is for sure. And especially with a car like this. This is basically a standard G70 with upgraded suspension and performance tires. And it offers passengers laps on the Nürburgring with pro drivers. Now, this is built to showcase Genesis racing DNA and real performance capabilities. And you can immerse yourself here in a thrilling experience through 73 corners and 300 meters of elevation change. And tomorrow, you can test it yourself here at Paul Ricard with our instructors. So one more time, let's give it up for our first two models here tonight. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the G80 Magma Special. There we go. Clapping also helps to keep you warm, by the way, all right? So what we have here is the flagship of refined performance, as we like to say. It was revealed in Dubai during the Genesis 1 of 1 launch in December 2023, and it was conceived as a limited edition for our Middle Eastern customers. And it received the full Magma package, as you can see. Wide body, aero pack, sport suspension, 500 horsepower, 4 bucket seats. This is exactly where elegance meets Magma intensity. And this marks Genesis' bold move into high performance. On the other side, we have the G80 Magma Special Prototype. And this is basically the development vehicle for the Magma Special. It is a test bed, so to say, for suspension, for the aerodynamics, and also the powertrain. And design and hardware underline its performance ambition. It's built, obviously, to push limits, okay? Not a museum piece, and this thing just wants to move. But now, unfortunately, we have to move him out. So let's give him one more big round of applause one more time. eyes on this beauty, ladies and gentlemen, the GV60 Magma concept. You know the procedure, come on now. You're part of the show, all right? You're part of the show. So, what do we have here? This is basically the electrifying pulse of the Magma line. Now, it blends innovation with raw performance, and you really get this instant and thrilling EV feel. And at its first outing, it actually won the Goodwood Hill Climb in the 4-seater EV category. And it was also driven by Jackie X at Bathurst and is mentored by GMR racing drivers. And it is aimed at creating a deeper emotional connection between the driver and the car. On the other side, we have the G80 EV Magma concept. And this is where power meets calmness and sophistication. This merges the quiet EV strength with Magma energy, and it shows that the Magma Orange is not just a color, it's actually a spirit. It'll be on display tomorrow at the Pit Lounge and is something you do not want to miss. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up one more time. I don't think I need to say anything, do I? Woo. What a beautiful car, what a masterpiece. What you're looking at here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Gran Berlinetta concept. And this is the ultimate vision of Genesis performance. Originated as a Gran Turismo vision concept, gamers could race the Genesis Magma virtually. But then it turned into reality in January 2025 when Jackie X drove it at Bathurst. It was later then driven by Magma racers at Paul Ricard with André Lotterer, who is also here with us tonight, and also Tutebene Hill Climb. Now, this is a sculpture on wheels, born to move and definitely not to stand still. Once again, let's give it up for the X Gran Berlinetta concept. And here's another one. Definitely worth applauding. This is the X Grand Coupe concept. And this is derived from the G90 flagship sedan. This is the coupe with the most exclusive and luxury body style, obviously. aristocratic proportions, 3.2-meter wheelbase, and basically the same space as the G90 limousine. And it perfectly blends emotional performance with rewarding luxury. Now, how do you like the lineup so far, everybody? Just to get a feel? We're going good? Yeah? But the best thing is we're not finished yet. Here he is, Luke. What a dynamic entrance, Luke, and what a fantastic car. But you got to explain to us, what are we looking at exactly?
Well, Chris, I think it's time now to talk about elevating Magma to the coachwork potential in tailoring masterpieces for very demanding customers.
The stage is yours. I'll be back afterwards, all right? Go for it.
By the way, side note, if you know we talked about the brand Genesis as the brand with the two lines, you know. You can see it on all cars. If you ever wonder where this inspiration comes from, I think you have the clear proof here. But now, let's get back to business. The X Grand Coupe concept and the G90 Wingback concept are two examples of what we can craft. You dream it, we build it. Ladies and gentlemen, you have the privilege tonight to witness the world premiere of the G90 Wingback concept, giving you all the first glimpse into the future of Magma and its spectrum of typologies. By the way, the internal code name wears the same nickname that I have, is Magma, Dr. Evil Magma. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Sports functionality paired with an aerodynamic and elegant body. The youngest architecture derived from our G90 flagship. Magma is the materialization of the iron fist in a velvet glove, demonstrating that Magma is the culmination of the Genesis lineup, the best of the best. The X-Grand Coupe concept and the G90 Wingback concept add elements of sophistication, luxury, and sportiness to the proven formula as only Genesis can. Now, let's be clear. You have seen quite a lot of Magma orange cars so far. But those two masterpieces prove that Magma is much more than a color. It offers the duality and contrast between performance and luxury. In other words, Genesis amplified, or Genesis excellence. At its core, Magma carries a Korean identity, one defined by care, respect, and balance. We understand hospitality as a way of life. That is why Magma does not shout, it invites. It is power delivered with precision and control. And tonight, the program wakes up in full force. We are ready. Genesis is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the GV60 Magma.
The GV60 Magma looks amazing. Look, once again, you and your team have done something extraordinary. I like the expression you use, Genesis amplified. It is like Genesis on steroids, or Genesis to the power of 10. No matter how you describe it, tonight is a defining moment for Genesis, not just for one model, but for the future of our brand. The GV60 Magma is where Genesis performance begins its next chapter. It represents the transition of Genesis from a young luxury brand into a luxury high-performance brand. We began this journey with the GV60 for a simple reason. It embodies the youngest and most dynamic spirit of Genesis. It is the first in what will become a complete family of Magma models, high-performance expressions of every future Genesis. Over the next decade, every Genesis nameplate will have a Magma superhero variant. We are bringing luxury high performance to every segment. Magma will play a key role in driving Genesis toward the future. By 2030, Genesis global sales will reach 350,000 units annually, a 55% increase from today's volume. And Magma will be an active contributor to that growth. We expect Magma models to account for around 10% of each Genesis model's volume. This is not just a halo, it is a healthy business. Proof that emotional performance can create real value. The GV60 will launch first in Korea in early 2026, followed by Europe and North America. Magma is not only a product strategy, it is our statement of intent. It showcases how Genesis will grow. The road ahead is full of energy, full of potential, and most of all, full of passion. Now, you heard the vision. Shall we take a look at how that vision comes to life? Luke, please do the honors.
Thank you, Jose. Magma defines a new kind of luxury high performance, where most chase aggression and extremes. We seek balance. Magma is designed to be rewarding, not challenging, to complement the driver, not to intimidate him. It's the kind of car where you suddenly realize you're driving faster than you thought you could. And it feels effortless. Only now, with Genesis fully established as a luxury brand, are we ready to express this new dimension. True luxury with performance, with purpose. Magma is not a departure from who we are. It is a natural evolution, injecting adrenaline into luxury without losing refinement. Now, Genesis is celebrating its 10th year anniversary this month. In those 10 years, we have achieved what other brands take decades to do. As I like to say, we've done 100 years in 10. We could not have launched Magma earlier. We needed to earn it. On the ground, the GV60 Magma concept wasn't just an exercise of design. We really wanted to test the vehicle and our capabilities. Now, forget about style. Our role as designers here was purely to enable performance. From the fender extensions with aeroblades to allow the wider track, to the 3 additional cooling openings in the front bumper, the aerodynamic elements such as the rear wing, the forged aero wheels designed to reduce unsprung masses, and improve braking performance. And in the interior, the bolster seats support the drivers while enduring high lateral forces. We even developed a high-grip quilted seats upholstery to allow the drivers to be one with the car. The sports steering wheel houses the Magma button, unleashing evil performance. When you want it, if you want it. Aesthetics became the authentic result of efficiency. At Genesis, we don't do cosmetics. But now, it is time to invite the man that engineered the GV60 Magma, the head of vehicle development tech unit at Hyundai Motor Group, Manfred Harrer. Manfred, please take it from here.
Thank you, Luc. What an amazing fleet of emotional cars, isn't it? And Magma stands for emotion. And my job tonight is to paint a picture what emotion feels like when you are behind the wheel of this car. The GV60 Magma is the first Genesis engineered from ground up with a performance DNA. We began with the clean sheet of the GV60 EV platform, and we checked every component, we checked every single system to create this most dynamic Genesis ever. Our goal was simple, but very, very ambitious: make performance effortless. You shouldn't have to fight against the car or be surprised from the response. You should feel rewarded, in control, and in confidence. That was the goal. You should feel completely connected between the driver and the machine. Underneath the GV60 Magma, a dual motor system produced around 650 horsepower with boost and launching from 0 to 100 kph in just over 3 seconds. Top speed passes easily 260 kph. But more important than the acceleration is control, the ability to use that power with precision. We achieved this through a completely revised chassis kinematic, new chassis components like a stiffer wheel carrier, hydro bushings, new dampers, tires, brakes, lower ride height. And not to forget, we improved also the body stiffness. The new calibration of the electric motor and the torque vectoring system follow the logic to achieve the best driving precision. The software algorithm for the chassis systems are optimized for enhanced body control, steering feel, and for even more precise linear handling. We have integrated a new performance brake and refined the calibration of the related software. This results in optimized brake response and improved thermal stability, and delivering this consistent stopping performance, delivering this confidence. And you can see every change we made was purposeful. Nothing was added for drama. Everything was engineered for feel. Performance is not just power, it's the consistency. And GV60 Magma features an enhanced battery cooling strategy depending on the selected drive mode and combined with a new air channeling system that maintains performance lap after lap. This is where motorsport meets everyday usability. From the driver's seat, you will feel that everything has a purpose. The seating position, the vehicle response to provide instantly feedback, to feel connected. Each system is tuned to deliver that driving feel, to deliver that confidence. The moment you realize you are driving faster and smoother than you thought possible, as Luc said before. Design and aerodynamics, as you see, we have a large rear wing with the diffuser, and we have optimized bumpers at the front and at the rear, and a redesigned underbody, delivering this perfectly balanced aero setup. This refinement gives the GV60 Magma this precise character on the racetrack and on the road. The car results in a clear philosophy. It's rewarding and not challenging. Luxurious, but capable. Refined, but thrilling. It stands for the bridge between Genesis and our Genesis Magma racing team. What we learn from GMR feeds back into Magma road cars, and the future Magma models will help to power our racing future. It's a continuous loop of improvement. But coming to the end, we can't wait to share more details, technical details with you tomorrow, so please stay tuned and see you tomorrow with my team, and we go through the tech together. Thank you very much.
Radio check. 112, radio is good.
There's a flame that's burning for those who've had it tough. So don't say you've had enough. Because you need me. It's not
All the way up, cool, we're ready. And on the way back to the left, box 4. Copy.
blue sky turn to gray. Behind every cloud there'll be better days. We can't go on this way, but I'll break my heart trying. Searching for that silver lining. Yeah. Searching for that silver lining.
All right. Now, so far we've heard of the vision, we've seen the design, and we also talked a bit about the tech. But to truly understand how Magma feels, I think we should bring up two gentlemen who live the Magma spirit from a completely different perspective. I'm talking about our racing drivers, also known as the Magma Boys. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up loud for André Lotterer and Pippo Derani. Welcome. Gentlemen, great to have you. Looking sharp. How you feeling?
Very good. Good
Yeah?
evening. Yeah, it's super exciting to be at Genesis right now, and Pippo and I were very proud to be the first Magma Boys. Yes.
Well, we're proud to have you with us also. So, looking at your journey so far, and I know you've been surrounded by the passionate team of Genesis, but also Genesis Magma Racing. Tell us a bit about that journey with this team. How are you enjoying it?
Well, first of all, glad to see you all here. It's been a privilege. Andre and myself been announced as the first Magma Boys, as Luke called us first, more or less 12 months ago. And at that stage, there was only a white piece of paper. And to see where we've come so far, you guys have seen a race car, which is running well, and I have seen the workshop. It's been a real privilege to be a part of Genesis and the family, and to really feel the spirit of the brand. And we hope that we can continue to showcase the spirit throughout the world in the World Endurance Championship.
What can you share with us?
Yeah, it's been super exciting, and we actually drove the car for the first time August 5th, not far from here on this track. And yeah, we did our first baby steps, and was really good. We started to improve the car a lot, and quickly after we tested it here on the bigger track, and immediately took it to 345 kilometers an hour. So it has a lot of capabilities. And actually, we just came back last week from an endurance test where we did more than 6,000 kilometers in 30 hours. So yeah, it's been a big challenge, and for sure won't be easy, but we can't wait to be at the first race next year.
Thank you for sharing that with us. But let's focus a bit on the GV60 Magma, and maybe you can tell us your thoughts on this vehicle from your perspective as a race driver.
Well, as you guys seen, Andre and myself, we have had a little taste of the GV60 Magma, and I think the best way to say it is tomorrow we're going to take some passengers around the track, but they are really lucky people to be able to be in that car, but I think the most lucky ones are the ones behind the wheel, because the car really has an amazing performance. It drives really well, it handles really well, but it has an amazing power. So I'm really hoping that you guys, most of you, could experience what we're going to do tomorrow. But I think that's the statement from the performance that the car can give, and I'm really looking forward for tomorrow.
So the lucky ones who get to take a ride with you guys. How about you?
Yeah, the drift mode definitely works. I tried that one out, so that is super cool. And as soon as you do the launch control, you understand you're in a really fast machine. And us racing drivers, we're not very easy people to satisfy, because we've been spoiled racing super fast cars. But we had a lot of fun on the track yesterday. And I have to say, what really makes it cool to drive is the virtual shift strategy. So you really feel like you're racing the car, going through the gears. And yeah, it makes a big difference. And you will see tomorrow. You will enjoy.
We'll leave it at that, but we'll thank you once again for joining us here tonight. Let's give it up one more time. Andre Lotara, Pipo Derani, much success, and thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you. Yes, the Magma Boys. All right. Now, the GV60 Magma, by the way, will be available in the Nürburgring track taxi lineup in the 2026 season. So also something to look forward to. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you've heard captures the essence of Genesis Magma: luxury, high performance. Now, the question is, what is next on this journey? Well, let's take a look.
Against my dreams, only God can set me free.
What a journey. This is one of my favorite pictures. It's a proved materialization of my dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the evening. We are just starting with the first Magma production car, the GV60 Magma. And after this presentation, it's time to go enjoy a great dinner. I know you're hungry. I know it's colder than what we expect in south of France. And I know you're tired with jet lag for some of you. But unfortunately, I will ask you to suffer a bit longer. We have just one more thing. Get you some of that. I hope we will not wake up. Ladies and gentlemen, the future icon of Magma. But it is much more relevant than that. It is the canvas for yet another motorsport project. We intend to develop the Magma GT as a customer racing program in the GT3 category. Usually we say, fasten your seatbelts, but tonight it's about tightening your racing harness.
Very much, Luc. And whew, that truly is the cherry on top here at the end of our show. Thank you for this extraordinary surprise. You know, this was an extraordinary show anyway, and now I think it's time to say goodbye to you. For now, enjoy the rest of the evening, obviously, and let's give him one more big round of applause. Luc,
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing. And now, to close our premiere, let's welcome back one more time, Jose Munoz. Come on, Jose. Great to have you back. So, you got to share with us now, how do you feel after this premiere?
Magma mia.
Magma. You're going to find that word in the dictionary. And looking at the gentleman here, Andre and Pipo, is this part of the plan? What are you doing? Gentlemen?
Oh my God, did they pay?
I don't know. They're not even reacting.
We need to produce more.
They're so focused on the car. I guess you have...
Well,
Yeah, all right.
well, Chris, I think we have the first customers already.
The first customers, and now you're going to have to produce that car faster. That's for sure.
Absolutely, we'll get it done. We'll get it done, for sure.
So, thank you very much, Jose. You also enjoy the rest of the evening. Any last final?
Absolutely. So thank you all for this magnificent evening. Thank you, Luc. Thank you, Manfred. Thank you, the entire team. And especially thank you for everybody who came here to enjoy. Let's enjoy dinner together.
Sounds like
Thank
a
you.
plan. Thank you very much, Jose.